Hey everybody, I think we got it dialed in. All right, how's everybody doing today? Let's get started. Let me know how we're sounding, looking, all of that. Check in with everybody here. What's going on? Looking good, right? So, a lot to get into today. Absolutely want to update the situation with clearly Bitcoin, crypto. I mean, we really threatening the whole 40K thing. What's going to do? The larger targets, and I still say that the action should be in the other altcoins, stuff like what we've been talking about, basic attention token. Excellent, thanks. Because this is the pattern situation that we want to see no matter what. I mean, half the battle of doing this methodology is being patient and waiting for the opportunities to come to you. So, absolutely, this is the kind of thing we want to look for. Basic attention token is pretty much one of the ideal scenarios, back to back to back patterns generated by Harmonic Pattern Collection. And I think even with where we are right now, look, this kind of stuff has got a lot more potential to do sizable reaction moves, which is again where we are. I'm not talking about anything other than reactions on bullish side. Absolutely, yep. I'll get to that. Someone saying the Bitcoin pattern I posted last night at about 1 a.m. or midnight. Yeah, it's turning. It's a type 1 reaction. But again, I still think we want to look at the other altcoins and favor those as our better trading candidates. And really important, I've said that multiple times, trading candidates. Um, One of the things to note also from yesterday's discussion about total crypto market caps, the fact that clear difference in the total DeFi and what's going on there. So check out what's happened in total DeFi in the last 24, 48 hours. This bat pattern's holding on total DeFi. So what do you do? Again, that's a heck of a lot better chart than Bitcoin or Ethereum or the other related indices. Hit the DeFi section. Go shopping in the DeFi aisle. And for those that are crypto savvy, you probably know better than me what companies. But I think it's about where's the money going to go? Are you gonna have a better opportunity to double something like Luna, Solana, Cosmos versus Bitcoin? I think so. I think you're seeing that in the total crypto market caps versus here's the total. All right, that's sustained a lot of damage. Now we have deep crab on this. If want to highlight that you generated a deep crab on the 4 hour, basically in the last 48 with terminal bar check back. This is still reaction territory. But the DeFi is in a better situation. Why? Because you have not violated prior lows like you did in the other indices. Treat these as reactions, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them be just strong reactions where they come back, pop up and hit some targets like that and then back down. Folks, that's all I want to assess for the next few days. And just as a coincidence, today is day 30 from the 4-hour chart we were talking about in Bitcoin. I'll get to that in a second. Amazing how that happens. But I would still look at most of these like this 1-2 scenario where we'll still need some more time. I mean, don't be looking for a moon. This thing has to build. It's going to really needs to shake out some of the sideways consolidation. And we don't have ideal confirmation either. But they are coming together. Here's another one I mentioned that's the storage. I think this has got a couple of big patterns back to back. Folks, I haven't taken a position on this one, but I am almost ready to. That's the kind of thing we saw with, or we're seeing immediately in basic attention token. And storage, really clear. You know, target 140, 145, 150 level. We're 155 right now. Keep maybe 152. But that's the kind of scenario, pattern structure, back-to-back pattern. Type 1, Type 2. We're in a Type 2, folks. No, we're not in a Type 2. We never got to target 1. That's something that also is important to separate. Get to target 1 and then come down. So this is some kind of extended Type 2. I still like the support for a minimum reaction up to 176, 177. That's a nice move. Several things there that, look, trace it out. You have everything you want to see. The hop off of that is holding. And again, how to play that, look for, we're down here at XA's 153. We're thinking 177 because that's target 1. Easy there, Rajan. Enjoy yourself and stay safe. Have fun. Get crazy, but have fun. Stay safe. But happy birthday. I'll give you a shout out. You're lucky it's your birthday because guess what? You got some opportunities that you haven't had in a while. You certainly didn't have this really quite a Christmas. And you're retesting a lot of the stuff from right before Christmas. Remember, this is, at least you've got patterns back on. Remember, we were looking for basically the 21st December. Well, now here, January 11th, starting to come into another 30-day cycle here where retest is almost done with some nice patterns. Again, we do have it, so let's go to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Because, yeah, on the 4-hour, look, they spit out a few different structures here. These sharks, ABCDs, yielded nothing. So I'm suspect on this crab pattern for sure. It's a deep crab, actually. You ended up retesting the prior low here, taking it out in a nominal way, but I'm still not. I'm still more than a reaction. No, and if anything, would have to say that 38K needs to get hit. There's a few different numbers we saw on the. I'll bring up the futures chart today, but you know, I don't. This is the reaction I wanted to see off of the shark. And now let's go back and look at some of the altcoins that, like your BAT and the storage, that have big structures behind them. If you want to trade Bitcoin, by all means, but just trade it as a reaction. Same thing with Ethereum. I mean, not much has changed here other than finally an oversold something. Where is it? I mean, we know, there it is. There's a deep crab here, 29.75. That was one of the big ones. And then again, we are talking BAT. Well, actually, we're kind of between BAT and Gartley. Remember, I said that this Gartley has to be considered. Why? Well, we have a better ABCD alignment. So if you go off of that high, go X to A there, and use that as your B point, it's basically a 60%, 59.5. Gartley is a 618 at the B point, and it also fits within the plus minus 3%. So if it's 618 at the B point, then that B point can be a 64.8 or a 58, 58.8, which it is. Sets up a C point, basically 707 in that instance, but down here. Then you get 786, right, a little bit of overspill, 3130. But here's the thing that is much better now. This green arrow relates to Harmonic Strength Index, which you did not have until the last 12, 14 hours of stabilization and individual bar breakout. What do I mean by that? You have an oversold reading. And also remember, I said yesterday on Ethereum, we will get the complex structure, this W formation, which we got. And it's popping out now. So what do we look for? This has to continue. It's a daily chart. So look, we're talking days here. And I'm only expecting reaction. That's the other thing. With a complex structure here, we should get something that comes out of the zone, but I would still look for that to be a reaction. Come up. And then come back down eventually. So, Ethereum could pop a little bit here. You have HSI. At least stop going down for now. Again, I would prefer to be playing other markets. But break it down to the next time interval. The lower time interval here on the 4-hour chart. All right, we are just coming right off of this deep crab that links up. 29.75 is that exact 1618. Target 135.26, folks. So you're okay for now. You're also coming off of at least an important swing going back the last 3-4 months. Still, I want to focus on other vehicles. And that's going to be really my continued focus until Ethereum and Bitcoin can really build something out of here and get out of the downtrend. Establish some kind of longer term daily pattern, something. This needs time. I think, again, I would be looking for other coins, like all coins like Engine Coin. Here you go. Right? Folks that have been using the software for more than 30 days. Tell me how beautiful that is. Yeah, I'll go to the e-signal charts for the futures in a second because I want to go look at the other markets as well. But we have seen prominently many bullish patterns get tested, retested here where reactions are likely. And stop loss assessments are super tight. 228 currently, 229 on Engine Coin. It got as low as the hop at 206. Strong move. I mean, you're already plus 5% off of that low, but you're looking for minimum move 246, 250. If you're just getting a small reaction off of this, it's, maybe 265. That's a nice 10, 15% move. The kind of thing that in a reactive segment, if you will, you can get a nice gain in a short period of time. That is, it could pop and roll over, no doubt. Pop, roll over, go back down. So absolutely, these are the kind of things that I'm focused on at the moment, where I'm, putting my money, and then, absolutely, here's the other one, Luna. So I was able to get in on Luna, and Luna's perfect. Look at that. So I took a position on Luna. Okay, with this bat pattern, my minimum assumption. We talked about the check back yesterday, whatever, but minimum assumption here is 78 and a quarter, if not a larger retest, maybe as high as 87. So disclosure alert. And so the other one or two that speculative ones that I've been mentioning, I think this thing is really interesting. This Gitcoin, okay, on the 4 hour. Where is it? The hourly. Hourly. There's deep crab down here. Where'd you go? Let me come back to this. I don't. Maybe this was the bigger 886, but that's one to get on the radar. Yeah, the 886 on that is GTC. Yeah, about 940. Oh, I know what it was. It wasn't it. It was this one. It was the OMG. And again, got down really close to our ultimate target on the 4 hour. No, sorry. It's a daily 886, right? And I think it's a shark. So we talked about that. Came really close to the 886. This one maybe needs a little bit more time, but certainly represents the kind of situations we want to see. 886 is, let me get that exactly right, because let me put the magnet on. That's going to help. If you're drawing, folks, hit the magnet. Sometimes that's a pain. Other times it's helpful to get the exact price bar like that, and then go to that. And then we go, well, definitely go there. Let me see here. Yeah, really. Yeah, oh my gosh. There it is. So I'm using the magnet, the hand drawing tool on TradingView. Yeah, we hit the 886 exactly. So you tell me, OMG, right, folks? 536, that 886 we talked about was what? 470 something was the low? Definitely. That's major stuff. We know that that's at a substantial point. Substantial point for just be conservative. Take a 382 reaction off the low. Something like that up to 8 or 9 is your 382. I'm just eyeballing it, but it would be like this. And we know sharks can go to 5.0s, right? So it's like doink 50. The 5.0 is at 12 and change, but let's be super conservative. 382 bounce. 1050. Not crazy, but that fits within the framework. A couple more. Here's Solana. Although Solana doesn't have much. I know I've been looking at this. I don't see patterns in Solana like I do some of these others. Here's the 4 hour chart. Didn't we have a butterfly? We had something there. I forget. Not as good as some of the others that I was highlighting. Here's the other thing. Where's here's Zcash, folks. Sorry, daily. No, that wasn't it. That's not it. It's I think it's YFI. It's one of these down here. YFI. There's just it's the YFI. And this one has. I know this has a big Gartley down here. Daily or weekly. Looks like this. No, that's not it. It's one of these. Ouch! It's this XY. Sorry. I knew it was one of my last ones on the list. The big all-time bat formation. I've mentioned this and we finally got down there. Really quick. And I've mentioned this as something to look at as like an all-time structure. And it's there. This is another position for me. But take a look. B point at a 50. Actually at a 60. You could almost say Gartley because it's 618. But our ABCD dynamics with the 886 puts you down here. Essentially where you are. You have a 1618 that completed. Your 886 and the low end is like 250. And depending on, this is really depends on the data feed. How does the software work? Well, you get a free trial. Go to harmonictrader.com and become a basic member. And all the instructions are there. You submit your username that you use for TradingView, and we'll set you up with a free 2 weeks. Then subscribe. So maybe I'll go through that towards the end. But this is another one where we had a discussion yesterday about 886s and why we want to look at those. There's the 886 all time. Again, it's slightly different depending on your data feed. This one is about $3. That's the Coinbase feed. There are a number of these other smaller coins that on Coinbase that have now come all the way back to the 886. And minimum reactions off of these all-time 886s are great places to be looking. Here's another one, a much more prominent XRP. This is the weekly too. There was a couple of these on the low end of this chart where we are clear W formation. We've actually formed a series of M and W's. I mean, look, here's the last one, right at the 786 back in June. And now we have another. Go down, look at that, 618 perfectly. Right back, and 786 on XRP, not 886. So that's something to consider where your levels you're looking for on XRP are basically 70 cents should be that floor. And we continue again. So a lot going on there, folks. Okay, Claire, because it's you, I'll look at Hero. But that's going to be the last one. So, folks, at least now, please, if you're going to be checking it out, I don't even know what this is, Claire. I can't look at that's something. Look, that I really can't work with anything like that. I mean, you need volume. And again, I think the ones that are on Coinbase versus like KuCoin or some of these other ones are ones I want to pay attention to. Let's do something. Let's do something different. Let me go to and bring up the futures chart. Let's definitely look at the markets after yesterday. And here's one more. Sorry. Let's try again. Let's try again. Hero broke the mic. No, it's all right. I turned around to get distracted. I know. Thank you. Sorry. You know what? I'm working between like 4 screens. Here we go. Restart. Let's go to the Bitcoin futures chart. This is the crab. Sorry, this is the bat pattern. Several things are happening today that were not happening before. We talked about the pending pattern coming down at target 2. We also had oversold readings that are finally coming out today. This is day 2. Yesterday was day 1. That's what we talked about. Thank you for that update on ADA, but doesn't matter. We know what the deal on Cardano is. Even Bitcoin, folks, my interest is pure speculation on the alts, with getting a little bump in Bitcoin to get these things off of lows. These altcoins can really fly in a reaction. I want to be super clear about that. Even though my focus yesterday was Bitcoin, Ethereum, total crypto market caps, I want to see these bump so the others can fly. The storage, I didn't even show Engine Coin. I forgot to show Engine Coin. Storage, Engine Coin, some of those other ones. Speculate. Why? Because we're devastated off of the highs. Bitcoin's off like what, 30%? If we can get a couple day reaction, you're going to see a nice move. Anyway, today's day, terminal bar +1. Bat pattern completed. Okay, good. Give me some reaction here. Give me some indicator confirmation. You're starting to get that. Green line went off. Okay? At least now you have some things down here. You still don't have HSI, which is, tells me this thing longer term will need more time. What we're looking for is a 1, 2, or 3 day stabilization. Individual green candles that can at least stop the bleeding. Stop it now. Okay, enough on that. I think really clear. I still say that the need more time, but stabilize so that we can get some good movements in the alts. Now, what about the rest of the markets? What's going on? NASDAQ, what should we do here? Are we going to get the 886 all the way down to 46,000? I looked at that yesterday. I think so. I think eventually, look, we're 15.8 right now. It would be a gift. It would be a real gift to get this down to about 14.6, 14.7. Let's keep an eye on that, but some of these that we've talked about still, S&P and Dow, haven't really taken much. Just a simple retracement. And this is something that I discussed in my Harmonic Trader book. And it kind of came to me as I was looking at the charts over the weekend of looking at these swing moves. Here's, look at that. That retracement off the prior high. That retracement. Look at this current retracement, okay? These are shallow retracements. I can't get my mouse to work. This is a big 382 swing right there, 382. This one's a 786. This one's a 618. Higher highs, higher lows. Okay, the highs have not been as dramatic, but clearly on the daily, we're putting in another. That hammer yesterday, really nice. And we're about to break out above that. So again, look for the reaction. 48.80, 46.8, 46.84 right now. So those haven't, not nearly in the same position as tech. Take a look at the Dow. The Dow was down 400 and something yesterday, came right back. Not, Again, I don't. The damage is being contained mostly to tech, which is going to probably give you an opportunity in things like semiconductors. Other, some of the ones that we talked about, like Square and some of these. So check out the Dow on the 4-hour. We do have an HSI, which is coming off of a bullish double test. So we're fairly good shape for at least a reaction. And again, if you take out 36,100 on the Dow, expect that to run. Expect that to come back pretty quickly. The daily time frame, it's probably even more telling. We've got just this attempt to sell at every inflection here gives you some kind of 2-day, 3-day reversal, and then they sell it down and right back up, sell it down, right back up, sell it down. So that's not really a simple observation, but again, when we get into these selling squalls, it looks nasty, bad news, end of the world, oh my God. No, actually, it's just a reaction within an uptrend. Some of the ones I've talked about recently, here's Disney, folks. I think we need to focus on things like this. Disney is, look, the daily, or I think it was a weekly. Check out that deep crab. Remember I was mentioning this a week or so ago at 148? Okay, I'm waiting for, give me a bullish pattern on the hourly or even a check back. You did get that. Somewhere around that 148 is an important pivot point within the whole framework of going back to retest that zone at the 1618. It's a great example of looking at longer term harmonic patterns for swing type trades. Let's say you don't have enough time. Let's say you have an hour a day or 30 minutes a day to look at the markets, but you want to trade actively. This is how to do it. Respect the type 1, type 2 frameworks. There's one. Down to 148. Sideways consolidation, starting to climb back up. And this is within an uptrend, right? Disney. They're making money, right? Oh, really nice. This is on Disney as well. Check out the RSI BAM. This amplified, here it is, the bullish RSI BAM. This is confirmation, by the way. Why? You have a major oversold reading, W formation, at the COVID low. Comes all the way back up. In this case, hits the oversold, swings all the way back down. Green line stops. That's what the software does. This is a Harmonic Pattern Collection Pro for eSignal. This is the same Pro version you can get on MetaTrader, Sierra Charts, Ninja Trader. And what it's telling me is that this confirmation here just started at that point. Oh, this is a weekly chart. Also, look, we're 6-7 weeks into the process. We have just popped above that downtrend line in the indicator. Really nice construction here. And for Disney, you get above that 50 line, expect follow through to retest ultimately not only the pattern but the indicator itself. There's a lot of things working in your favor where this reaction, that correction that started almost a year ago, is, I would say, it's over. And I'm looking for the return move, which is an opportunity unto itself. So what's going on in the chat? Am I still muted? Or is it just you guys getting bored? Couple more. Promise I won't bore you. I want to look at what's happening in the major integrated oil stocks. Things like Chevron, ExxonMobil. These have massive patterns. Look at these massive patterns. We were talking about these more than a year ago. This was a type 2 shark on the weekly for Chevron, all the way down at 69.58. Hit the terminal bar, or sorry, hit the hop at 57.27, was the exact COVID low hop. I mean, come on. And now we have a Gartley, but what's it doing? It's acting super strong, and it's just barreling through the PRZ after the double HSI test. I'm looking at targeting the hop at 137. What happens here, and a few of these actually are shaping up, are going to tell us whether or not crude oil is going to do a massive breakout. Here's XLE. Look at all those patterns. Trying to draw several patterns on XLE, but this is acting incredibly strong off the low. And until we see a weekly reversal, let me remove the potential and pending so we just see completed structures. All of these hop levels at 64.26, 67.78. We're trading 62.40 currently. Definitely not what we, definitely where you want to see those targets. What do you mean BTC's throwing a tantrum? Come on. What do you mean? Every time someone says that, I'm triggered on BTC. Oh, it just dropped $500 in a second. That's why, look, okay, someone just said it's throwing a tantrum. Yeah, it's just got rejected off of the trying to break out of the PRZ. Let's take a look. All right, not a biggie. There's a 5-minute look at the 5-minute bat pattern. This is, sorry to jump off of point here, but when someone says BTC is throwing a tantrum, I'm going to have to look. But again, that's a 5-minute bat pattern. Kind of choppy, right? Still look for reaction reversal dynamics. Look at the butterfly that set this off. This is today, last 24 hours. Look at this. There's the butterfly that preceded all of this. Type 1, it explodes. But because it's only the first test, I'm thinking reaction every time. Come back down. Bang. Okay, now I can think reversal. All right, let's get back to the other markets. I'll do a wrap up on crypto in a couple of minutes because I have to get out of here shortly. But energy, crude oil, XLE, some of the other ones that, here's Marathon, right? Remember Marathon? Slow, steady. Not anymore. Massive breakout, folks. This is trying to fail the hop, and it's something we've talked about since a year ago. I have sat on a position and been really happy about it. This is actually a shark. I don't think I have, oh no, it's this looping type 2 bat on MRO. I'm still long. I'm staying. I took some profits. I probably sold half of my position of the original position, but I'm letting the rest ride. I think I mentioned that. I think I took profits on that back at 12 or 13, but I'm letting the rest ride. Minimum back to 24, folks. Absolutely. I mean, there's this one. Here's another that's, where is that? Apache. Check out Apache, folks. Okay, I think this one's just getting started. That's a beautiful monthly butterfly. And firmly holding lows here. What would a reactive move give you? Up to target 1. 66. That's the thing that seems to be asserting itself early in this year. What's working? Not tech, not yet. Tech's getting it on the chin. Money's going into these energy stocks, producers. Why? Because they figured out that they still need oil. Duh. Oh, we're going to get rid of oil. Yeah, we're going to get rid of oil. Oh, wait, we have a shortage of oil. Now we need oil. That's how these cyclical moves usually go. Apache, folks. Nice. James, that sounds good. Someone, he was saying he closed it on the hop. One of our positions, he closed at the hop, closed it early. I have no problem with that. Again, I said months ago on that marathon position that I took some profits off. As we should. We should be leaving, as they say, money on the table because it's part of your plan. You don't have to sell it all, but look, something like this is clear development. Here's another one that it has really taken off since we featured it. This is Altria, and this was on a daily time frame. This is a heavy dividend player. I own a bunch of this longer term. I've owned it for a while, long time. But this still there's a couple patterns here. We have retested this PRZ. Okay, coming back. I'm thinking maybe we get to the hop. Let's take a quick, focus on this. So I'm focused on the fact that we do have a little divergence. Why? On our amplified readings, you have a higher high up here. You do have that kind of a thing where it's not a complex formation. It's two individual impulsive readings. And this thing has been on a tear. It's up 25% in a short period of time. Okay, expect this thing to pull back, but longer term, this is what I see. You go to the weekly, and Altria, Philip Morris, a lot of these are in the same position. And they're conservative stocks, they're dividend payers, they're real cash cow type businesses. This is tobacco. But you have major patterns behind here. And all of them still point to higher levels in the long term. So do consider that. If you're messing around with some of these swing type trades, look at your weekly, look at your monthlies. Target one is at $62. This one's yielding 7.5%. So, again, it's not going to be a Tesla. It's not going to be one of these, fast-moving techs, but positioned properly, these can be great long-term swing positions, which is how I use it. Longer term here on the monthly chart, folks, look, downtrend has been broken. Look, if I can get this to stick, downtrend has been broken. Expect some consolidation. Yeah, go sideways, hold these lows. Hold last year's low, really important. There's the COVID low, was $32. Okay, I expect some kind of ABCD formation, XABCD, where again, at a minimum, you can get a CD up to around 62, 63. It's going to be slower. I think on let me go to the trading view. I know this is, there's a big pattern on the trading view that's not materializing here. It's down $1 today because it's profit taking. This was, here you go. It was on this chart, and yeah, beautiful. Check out that Gartley. Really nice. And I know I posted this right at the completion point, but beautiful move. I mean, if you were trading this, probably not a bad spot to look to take profits. The XA level was hit yesterday at 50.31 of that prior deep crab. So, okay. Hey, I still think it'll go to the hop, but if you're trading it, no problem taking it off at 50.31. Cody says, we're firing up the big machines for oil components at my job. Absolutely. Great to hear that. Peak dollar oil commodity cycle. Yeah, we have to make that assessment. I don't disagree with that. Look, there's a big challenge coming on oil. And if you get above 85, 90 a barrel, forget about it. I think there's other factors that will come into play. Last year, I was calling for a $100 barrel by next year, by this year, by 2022. I targeted $80 a year ago. All right, so that still needs to play out. We still need to see the larger picture come together. Here's MRO on our other platform. That's super strong. And there's the weekly. Look at the weekly, right? That weekly was, jeez. Look, deep crab down at the hop at 3, right at 3 and change, 350. We're now retesting the hop level of the bat. Are we going to break out above that? Maybe, but as someone who earlier said they were taking profits at that $15, the hop level at 1562, great idea. I mean, no problem there. We're down here last year at $6-7. So that's great trade management. That's what you want to do every time. Couple of more. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla took a hit. Oh, before I do that, let's go over to these Bitcoin stocks, the blockchain stocks. What's going to happen? Are these going to do a full reset? Or are they going to hold? Because Riot just broke the low and even violated the hop level on the Gartley after a nice reaction. I'm keeping a close eye on that. That's not what you want to see. Again, part of the issue. Ooh, Matic is up. Where's Mara? Here's Mara. Okay, Mara is 886 territory. Getting close. Look, but there's no M or W formation. Look at that. 886, folks, is right there at 26. A minimum 382 bounce, 48. Something like that. That just reactions left and right. That's probably how we get out of this, is react first and then develop something larger at a later time. There was another one I wanted to outline. A stock. I forget. Oh, I know what it was. Let's go over to MicroStrategy. So here's MicroStrategy. Look at the Gartley, what the Gartley did. It was a type 2 Gartley. Fairly devastating on the daily basis. And we're now under target 2. What are we going to do with this? I mean, we need at least one day reversal to start that, which you have today. But look, let me bring this up. Nothing in HSI. You do have an amplified reading that the green line went off. You have some kind of reaction out of the oversold low. Okay, but I still say this is more proof that crypto needs a lot of time, especially these guys that are so Bitcoin focused. I think that's the key issue with crypto in general, that so much is dedicated to Bitcoin and Ethereum that the bigger opportunities are getting missed. The altcoins, speculate, just go and speculate on those until we see something major develop on these larger ones. Yeah, there was, there's the weekly on MicroStrategy. Here's the other one that's probably explains why. BTBT, this Bybit. All right, did we get down? We almost got to the XA level, and we've been waiting for that retest. This is a type 2 beautiful bat pattern at 440. Sorry, 440 is the exact 886 off of this M formation. So if you're looking for an opportunity in those the crypto miners and blockchain space, it would be on the retest from there. Then you go pretty close, almost there, not quite. You got it. Gold. Gold's a good one too. I'm still playing catch up with all of our markets today, but look, gold doesn't change. That story of 1720 is going to hold until we get to new highs. Here's the monthly on gold. We do have a 113 up here. Basically, 2000 was a failed 113. Very similar to Bitcoin's chart, but this didn't sell off. Go to the daily time frame, which we have significant pattern formation, stabilization. All right, big bat pattern at 1720. We talked about this butterfly, temporary resistance, but actually helps your situation. Even if you were a bear gold bug, you were bearish on gold, reaction's over. Come on. This is, there you go. There's the beginning of the return. Why? Because just a reaction down to target 2. Come back up to the 127 at 1868. Maybe as high as the hop is 1885, but we're still grinding in an uptrend. That's not going to change at all. I mean, that's everything you see here for gold on the daily time frame is in a great spot, including your amplified RSI. You've got a nice uptrend off the low. Thank you, off the low. Also, you're trying to get above this 50. That's important. You see price accelerate. Once we can break above the 50 on, if it's RSI or amplified, I prefer amplified because you see more. But once you really develop that and get out of whatever zone you're looking at, you can go get an acceleration twice the distance in half the time. Meaning we went from 1781 to 1820, 40 points here from November until basically now, till January, 2 months. So probably in the next month, 6 weeks, why not do 80 bucks up to 1900? We're there. I think gold's going to come out of this grinding phase and play catch up pretty quickly. Can you still buy an annual membership? Yeah, we can do that. I'll review those options in a few moments. Again, I'll direct everybody. All of your questions for resources, software, everything is found on harmonictrader.com. And I'll show you that in a second. Is that a detector reference? Funny. Anyway, Bybit is a great exchange, says someone. Yeah, James, I hope so. Again, I think, though, that's mostly Bitcoin, Ethereum focused. Tesla, folks, we're just in a consolidation phase. This sucker is going to roar once we get out. We might have one more 886 swing back to 920. Why? Because you do have a shark. Look, an offshoot move down from there to the 886 would be sweet. If I can draw it, there you go. Something like down to there, and then go. You have amplified RSI BAM that just completed on that last peak, so we're in a consolidation phase. Essentially, you are locked in this zone on Tesla. Just consolidation. It explains a lot of the tech. You don't see, look, you see Pepsi and Coca-Cola breaking out. You don't see this breaking out. Not yet, but it will. Let's just wait for that next move. Oh, here's one that I think is a relevant chart for all of us. We actually can take some solace in this chart, and this is one of the reasons why I think harmonic patterns are just cool. Pfizer, folks, another big stock where we just entered into the PRZ a couple of weeks ago. We are stalling. I made the joke that, you know, you want to see the end of COVID, you want to see the end of Pfizer, it'll be off of this pattern. So I did want to do a quick update because that thing reversed, didn't follow through, but look what's happened now, which is something I spotted just kind of reviewing charts over the weekend. Again, I meant to bring this up, that we're now out of the zone, but we have a complex structure on Pfizer. So any move on Pfizer against this level is probably just reaction. Target 1 at 44.50. So that was one of many that we have discussed that are in a nice spot for bearish pattern. I don't want to look at all bullish things. We need to see bearish, and bearish to bullish are usually great. Those back-to-back setups. Here's one from my friend Richmond. Harmony 1, folks. Hey, shout out to Richmond. We need to get him back on the show. The man is absolutely a legend. You are a legend, my friend. And this is his favorite. This is something he's holding. And I've, because of you, I've been watching this one. Just to bounce off of, go back to crypto really quick. Still holding up. And this is one of the few, like Luna and a few others, that have only done a mild 382 pullback, 4-hour pullback. So again, keep an eye on this chart on Harmony 1. This is something where back in earlier December, you're probably still in that initial setup. It was, what was it? It was like a Gartley, like this, with an ABCD off the top. Yeah, down there. Yeah, off of the September low. It's like that. That's a better construction. This really proves my point of what are the relative trends. This is a lot better position than Bitcoin or Ethereum. You look at that on the daily with a nice pullback where, what are we looking for? We're looking for new markets to break out to all-time new highs in the crypto space. So be it. So far, so good with what we've seen off of, and let me just circle back here. Ethereum. Okay. That's something. I think now, with where a lot of these are, we can start to assess reactions, 382 reactions. Remember, we were looking at stuff at 3,800 and it failed, and that went down 1,000. So that was definitely something we've been waiting on, where for a while we said if that doesn't hold up at 38 and it doesn't continue, yeah, you're going to need more time and go lower. That's what this is doing. Even with this, I'm still saying, folks, this is going to take time. You're going to have to go through reaction reversal sequence over the next 30 days if this is the pivot low, and see where we are come early February. A lot going on. It's been a kind of a mixed bag, if you will, but I do think that making the distinction of which are opportunities and which are just kind of going to grind for a while. And that's truly where we are. I mean, the Bitcoin and Ethereum, sure, they may bounce, but do I consider them massive opportunities? No. Not like some of these others that we've highlighted, and maybe some of the ones that are going to break out, that we should keep an eye on. Like, here's Cosmos. Will this break out, or will this fail the bat? We've talked about that time and time again. That's why I'm not locked in on just Bitcoin or Ethereum. And I think for everybody that's here, what we're trying to do is maximize our time, find those good movers, capture those moves, and then get back into something else, not lock up our capital. So let me finish up today. Folks, go to harmonictrader.com, become a basic member. we've got that fixed, right, Stephanie? If you want to jump over to our Discord, get on there. Okay, that's really starting to come together with all of that. The memberships right now, so I'm going to roll this one out where just let everybody know that if you want TradingView, HPC Pro, become a gold member. If you already own one of the programs, become a silver member. And you do get a subscription to the software. So if you don't have TradingView or any of the programs, my suggestion is become a gold member and you can get all three. You get everything you need. Also, we'll start basically to open up the questions for gold members exclusively, requests for gold members, stuff like that. Everyone else, you don't need, listen, you don't need to subscribe, but I think you see at least you got to get with the software to really be able to do this on the fly the way that we do, and also learn, because you can learn manually, and I provide all of those resources for free on the basic members page right here. Get the books, download all the books, read and watch the videos, but the software is the key. You're killing me, Dalton. I already had a funeral for that one. That was back in December. I had that funeral. So, but I will talk about that. Maybe save that for Thursday. Let's get into a reactive mindset. Let's respect what these are doing. And, final part of this is, I said this with a few other assets we covered today. The thing we want to see with these zones is getting above the 50 level across the board on amplified RSI. We're at the 50. Okay, we're starting to break out while we're still in the zone. And we have clearly demonstrated stabilization. That's the key. This breakout in the indicator is a completely different situation than, say, back down here where terminal bar just completes. You're going sideways. All right, you make some kind of progress, but you go back down. It's above the 50 level where we see that start to get price acceleration. So I think we'll leave that for Thursday and come back and see where we are. But if we get the bump, again, just think reaction, because this could come up. And not just this one, all of the ones we have talked about that are in this type 1 condition, where I wouldn't be surprised for that to go up and then come right back down for a full retest again in a week or two. But for now, okay, I'm in a really nice type 1 spot. Let's see how it shapes up by Thursday. Thanks, everybody. Again, great session. Making good progress with these sessions in general. Reach out to me on the Discord or get with the software and send me an email. I'm really pleased of how people are learning and getting with the resources, the software, understanding the concept. So again, that's the purpose of what we're doing here. All harmonic patterns. If you have any questions, again, get with me through the website or Discord. Until Thursday, we'll be back. Try to do it around 11 a.m. And really finish up for the week what we can take with us, I think, for the rest of the month. So stay alert. Get on it. Let's just be in a reaction mindset and come back Thursday. Until then, have a great one. And as always, go get 'em.